Hi, my name is Jack Vint, and welcome to Timeout. Today, as I'm traveling and thinking, I have the privilege to go and pray. And I don't know about you, but many of us are often in traffic or driving in our car to work or to a meeting or to some place, and the radio is off, and we have the privilege of not hearing anybody except our own thoughts. And that's a good thing to do. So today as I go, I want to go and pray at a reserve, which helps me to focus my thoughts together. That's one of the reasons why I go and pray. If you ask, why do you pray? I guess as a leader that helps people or is in a position where I need to often give counsel, I need to focus my thoughts because there are many things happening that scatter all my thoughts and I can't really focus on what I should be focusing on. So prayer helps me to focus. I also pray because it's a discipline. And like any discipline that you do regularly, it becomes a habit. Like any habit, it helps you to hone in on certain things that are very important in your life. The other reason I would pray is because I'm sometimes just unsure about certain things. I just don't know what the answers are. I'm sometimes, like a normal person, just insecure. I am unsure, insecure, and of the unknown. And so I have to go and pray so I can get advice. It's almost like when you charge your battery when it's flat because you want your phone to work. You charge it so that it can power up and be available to do all the functions that you need it to do. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I go and pray. I go and pray so that I can be charged, so that I can be used to help other people. But the real reason I go and pray, I would say, and there are many reasons why people pray, I'm just mentioning a few. I go and pray because as a Christian, as a leader, I have a relationship with God, and I know that one of the ways to maintain that relationship is through prayer. A simple way of describing prayer would be to say, I go and talk to God. Yes, we all have the right and the privilege to talk to God. Anybody can do it, and it's a privilege. I go and talk to God and about various things. But it also helps my relationship. Have you ever not spoken to somebody in a relationship and then expected your relationship to be great? It doesn't happen. And when I go and talk to God, I normally start off with some form of thanksgiving. You know, it's lousy when you get into a friend's company and the first thing you ask for is for them to do stuff for you. Or you start complaining. Nobody likes to be around a friend that starts the conversation with complaints and follows it up with requests. Now, I'm not against us doing that. I just don't think it's a good place to start. And when it comes to God, we also have to be careful that that's not the way we start our prayer. We need to start with thanksgiving for the many things we're grateful for before we go to the concerns we have about things that we don't understand or things that we need, or even things that we feel we want to complain about or share with somebody. God loves to hear that because He loves us. I've also learned that as I go and talk to God, He often straightens out my thoughts, and He often puts things in my heart that weren't there before and gives me just another way of looking at things. I remember a time when I was going to pray just like today, the very same place, and I was speaking to God about something that was important to me. I'd written a book called Real Relationships for Real People, a book I believed God wanted me to write to help people, and I never wanted to write that book. I wanted to write a book on faith, and I ended up writing this book on real relationships for real people, so that when somebody came and asked me advice, I could say, well, whatever I know is in this book. Yeah, you can take the book and read it. And I'd printed this book, 500 copies to start with, and they'd all sold out. And so I was just telling God about, when I asked people, have they read the book, who bought the book, they would all say to me, or many of them would say, no, we haven't read it yet, but we're going to. And I was saying to God, why is that so? Why would I write a book on relationships, even if people bought it, and I'm grateful for that, but they never read it? And then there was like a silence between God and I. And God then said something to me that really made me laugh. I felt God say to me very clearly, Jack, it's funny that you say that. I also wrote a book. And I also find there are many people, they don't read it. Well, if you were around me at that time, you would have heard me burst into laughter, and you would have thought I was crazy, because it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard God say to me. Yes, God does joke with us. He has a sense of humor, and He loves to talk to us through prayer. So I want to encourage you, maybe there are many things you can't do, and it may be true, but one of the things you can do as a person, even when you're driving, you can pray. And you can try to talk to God and tell Him the things that are concerning you in your life. And you can start to build a relationship with Him. And I want to encourage you to try that next time when you're driving and thinking, is add to it prayer. Thank you for watching this video. This is Jack Vint with Timeout. God bless.